Welcome to the graduates. Congratulations. To a wonderful group of physicians, it's a pleasure to recognize your great accomplishments in the presence of your friends, families, loved ones, and the residents and faculty who have learned so much from and with you. I would first like to recognize those of you who are members of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. There are a remarkable number of awardees in our graduating class of 2020. Gold Humanism values are our core principles: integrity, excellence, compassion, altruism, respect, empathy, and service. These values are those you want as a doctor for yourself or a loved one: to have an outstanding listening skills with patients, to be at your side during a medical emergency, to have exceptional interest in service to the community, to have the highest standards of professionalism, to integrate a humanistic approach to patient care. These values are what brought all of you in the graduating class to NYU Bellevue, and that you have honed through your training. The remainder of this talk shows how all of you have been successful in demonstrating these values. Some of you were elected to the Gold Humanism Society. All of you have achieved humanistic success. Your personal efforts in the face of uncertainty of the evolution of the pandemic, the inadequate supplies, the hospital and governmental problematic decisions are remarkable. In our country, the president did not mourn the loss of more than 100,000 human beings and the needs of society, nor did he provide the leadership and moral support that the country desperately needed to optimally handle this unprecedented crisis. You, in contrast, demonstrate unflappable commitment to address and overcome obstacles, to care for your patients, assist your peers, educate and care for your families and friends, while also caring for yourselves. This is a tribute to your humanism. You created essential ways to help patients who were isolated from families and friends during the critical phases of COVID-19. You utilized new tools to communicate your sorrow, your compassion and love, to maintain essential humanistic traditions of medicine. This, while you could not talk, touch, or utilize other essential skills to the fullest extent of your training, you found a way. When you recognized that all your knowledge of the social determinants of medicine was playing out as COVID-19 assaulted the poorest in our country, the people of color, the people with essential jobs without personal protective equipment, the people crowded in apartments and subways and buses, you spoke up and acted with appreciation and understanding of these disparities. You recognized that our system of using medicine to correct the societal, social, institutionally entrenched disparities was inadequate. George Floyd's death and that of Breonna Taylor, Rayshard Brooks, and innumerable others document the racism in America that destroys a part of us each and every day, and by extension reinforces and normalizes white privilege. The ever-increasing body of video evidence of the horrors of systemic racism is indisputable. You recognize that the American system of criminalization of social determinants is unacceptable. You spoke up and demonstrated that you saw our blind spots on policing and race. You protested to demand change in America. Change for equity and justice must occur through our society. Black Lives Matter will only be realized when the social determinants are truly addressed through changes that impact every vulnerable person. We must recognize that personal, institutional, and societal failures will not be corrected by medicalizing or criminalizing socially determined inequities. Racism is systemic. Today, you are seeking to create essential changes in medicine that will only occur when all the workplaces and governmental sites across the country are enriched to allow a full representation of all the voices of all the people. You were leaders in the response to COVID-19 and the fight against racism. You will not only be remembered for having been present, but particularly for how you have responded. Thank you for your courage, creativity, resiliency, and ability to transition and advance under duress. It was a privilege to watch you demonstrate the importance of your core values and the impact that your training here at NYU Bellevue has had on your ability to integrate them into your practice. You are truly individuals of immense potential, ideal for advancing our world. How you keep these values and grow them in the next phases of your career will be critical. Each of you will contribute according to your talent, resources, and priorities, whether in clinical practice, academics, advocacy, or public health. Always, in every encounter with patients and their families, be the change that you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. Thank you and congratulations.